call you a monster, but can monsters be daddies?
Little one, who told you that?
The evening sun cast long shadows across the wheat fields as Thomas Kane limped toward the abandoned barn on the outskirts of New Haven Colony. His mechanical leg, a crude replacement fashioned from salvaged ship parts, clicked with each step, announcing his presence to anyone within earshot. He preferred it that way. It gave people time to scatter before they had a look at him. The colony had called him many things since the incident. Monster, abomination, the twisted one. After the plasma reactor explosion that claimed half his body, the emergency medical systems had saved his life by any means necessary. Synthetic flesh grafted over exposed muscle. A cybernetic eye that glowed faintly red in low light. Neural implants that snaked visibly beneath the translucent skin on his neck. The doctors said he was lucky to be alive. The colonists said he should have died with dignity. Thomas pushed open the barn door, ready for another night of solitude among the rusting farm equipment and forgotten supplies. Instead, he found someone already inside. She couldn't have been more than 7 years old, though her species made it difficult to judge. Her skin was a pale blue, dotted with bioluminescent freckles that pulsed gently in the dimness. White hair fell in tangled waves around pointed ears. She wore a tattered brown dress that had clearly been made for a human child, hanging awkwardly on her smaller frame. When she looked up at him with eyes too large for her face, she didn't scream. She should have screamed. "Please don't make me leave," she whispered in heavily accented standard. "I'll be very quiet. They won't know I'm here." Thomas stood frozen in the doorway. In his 4 years of exile to the colony's edges, he'd seen plenty of the native Velori people. The colonists had pushed them from their ancestral lands, offering empty promises and trinkets in exchange for prime farming territory. But he'd never seen one of their children this close, and certainly never alone. "Where's your family?" he asked, keeping his distance. Her luminescent freckles dimmed. "Gone. The sickness came last winter. The medicine man said humans brought it from the stars." She said it matter-of-factly, without accusation. "I've been hiding in the colony for 3 months. People give me food sometimes when they think no one's watching. And now you're hiding in my barn. Your barn." She tilted her head. The children in the village said this was the monster's barn, that a creature lived here, something not human and not Velori, something in between. She studied him with those enormous eyes. "You're the monster?" Thomas felt his artificial jaw tighten, servos whirring softly. "Yes, I'm the monster." "Oh," she seemed to consider this. "You don't look very scary. You look sad." The observation hit harder than any slur the colonists had thrown at him. Thomas moved to the corner where he'd made his living space. A sleeping bag, some books, a portable heater. "You can stay tonight. But tomorrow, you need to find somewhere else." "Because you're a monster?" "Because I'm not fit company for anyone, especially a child." She was quiet for a moment. Then, "The village elders say humans are monsters. They point at their houses on our sacred grounds. They say humans destroyed the silver trees where our ancestors sleep." Her freckles pulsed faster. "But some humans left food for me. Mrs. Chin always pretends to drop her bread where I can find it. Little Oscar shares his lunch when no one's looking." "Are the monsters too?" Thomas sank onto his sleeping bag, suddenly exhausted. "I don't know, kid. The universe isn't that simple. My name is Lyra. What's yours?" "Thomas. Thomas the monster." She said it like she was trying it out. "Can I ask you something?" He grunted assent. "Can monsters be daddies?" The question struck him like a physical blow. "What?" Lyra moved closer, her small feet silent on the barn floor. "I've been watching you for 3 weeks. You fix things. I saw you repair Mr. Howell's irrigation pump when it broke. You left it working by his field before sunrise. and you leave food packages at the Velori camps across the river. I followed you. You shouldn't have done that. Why do you help people if you're a monster? She pressed. Monsters in stories don't fix things. They don't share food. They don't look sad when children call them names from a distance. Her voice grew smaller. I need somewhere to stay, Thomas. Winter's coming again, and I thought maybe monsters and orphan aliens could be family, since nobody else wants us. Thomas looked at this strange, brave child standing in his barn, asking him to be something he'd never imagined he could be again. The explosion hadn't just taken his body. It had taken his future, his place in the community, his sense of purpose. He'd accepted his role as the colony's cautionary tale, the reminder of what happened when you got too close to dangerous machinery, when you became more machine than man. But here was Lyra, seeing something different. Not a monster, but someone who fixed things. Someone who helped. Someone who could, perhaps, be a father. The colony won't like it, he said finally. They already hate me. They fear the Velori. If I take you in, then we'll be hated together, Lyra said simply. But we won't be alone. Thomas found himself nodding slowly. We'll need to make this place livable. Winterproof it. I can probably rig up a better heating system. And you'll need proper clothes, not that tattered thing. Does this mean yes? Her freckles began glowing brighter. You'll be my daddy? I'll try, Thomas said, his voice rough. I'm not sure how good I'll be at it. I'm still part monster, you know. Lyra rushed forward and wrapped her small arms around him, heedless of the cold metal and synthetic flesh. That's okay. I'm part alien. We can be weird together. For the first time in 4 years, Thomas felt something warm spread through his chest, something the surgeons hadn't been able to remove. He awkwardly returned the embrace, his human hand gentle on her small back. Tomorrow we start fixing this place up properly, he said, and maybe we fix other things too. Show this colony that monsters and aliens can be family. That different doesn't mean lesser. Can we fix the silver trees? Lyra asked. The ones humans cut down? Thomas thought about the seeds he'd secretly collected from the last surviving grove. We can try. We can always try. As night fell over New Haven Colony, the monster and the orphan alien sat together in the barn, making plans. Outside, the settlement slept, unaware that something was shifting in their carefully maintained divisions. In the margins where the outcasts gathered, a different kind of family was being born. One that would eventually teach them all what it truly meant to be human, or to be anything at all.